"Oh my gosh, Dave," said Carol. "Look at this. It says here a 3-year-old boy was kidnapped last night at Chessington Lane sometime near midnight." "Poor little fellow. His mum must be distraught," interrupted Dave. "That's not at all. Apparently the police caught up with the kidnapper a couple of hours later. Told him to hand over the child, but he said he didn't have a child." "Do you know the child's name?" asked Dave. "Yes, his name is James' son," replied Carol. "Is there pictures of the kidnapper?" asked Dave, who was getting more interested by the minute. Carol turned the page to page 11. The newspaper pointed there, and the page was a man. He'd been in the newspaper a week before. They both gasped. "Mr. Knott," they said together.
6 years later. The little boy looked around the dark, misty, dimly lit street of which half the places were abandoned. He walked up to the musty old hotel, nobody worked here, and entered through the rusty cat flap. It wasn't his choice of place to live, but people were still looking for him for some reason he didn't know. He climbed up the rickety staircase and into his room. Well, he thought it was his bedroom until he turned around, that is. Inside, instead of a half-broken bed, there was a grave, half submerged in dirty water. He started to walk. He was enchanted by its mystery of being there. As he came closer, he noticed a body lying on the floor on tidy grass, except that the body had no head. The body itself was about a head smaller than him.
As he peered through the darkness, he saw a necklace with a swirling centre, beads of light, a galaxy of tiny pinpricks of light, the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. As he watched the neck more carefully, a couple of fragments of skin were put into place by an invisible hand. He looked up and saw words upon the stone grave. It started back at him, showing him its secret. On the slab of stone, it showed a name he only knew in memory. James' son, his name, and the date tomorrow. It even had a time, 1:25 a.m., the time now, 12:01 a.m.
There was a sudden rush of wind, and in the blink of an eye it was gone. The room had turned back to normal again. He opened his bedside table, and in the drawer was the necklace. The same necklace he had seen about 5 minutes ago. James put the swirling necklace around his neck. Just then, he felt a wave of pain and slumped upon his bed. He heard a voice, and it was coming from inside him. 12:45 a.m. Tut, we are not doing very well on time, are we? Well, your time is set. Oh, and by the way, before I go, you're up in flames. The voice was gone. James awoke to coughing and spluttering and smoke. 1:15 a.m. James tried to put the fire out, but he couldn't. Soon, he just gave up. The next day, firefighters brought out the charred skeleton. The only thing that wasn't burnt was the necklace.